Okay, now,
We are,
before we start, so I just want to make sure we don't have another software glitch. The green bar that's blinking means that the audio is recording, is that correct?
yes, yes.
Okay.
yes.
All right.
And the button has been clicked and,
See the green bar?
The light green in the middle.
Yeah, it's the second bar down. See when I speak, the green line jumps? We had a software glitch and there was no audio in one of the meetings, so I just want to make sure that's not happening. Anyway, I'd like to welcome you to this regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen for Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. If you please rise, join me in the pledge.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's see, a couple of items under correspondence. One, there is a letter from, okay, yeah, when we get to minutes. All right, great. When we get to minutes, we're going to cover this thing. Anyway, there's a letter in your packet from Mr. Bill Craddy. He, of course, is chair of the Energy Commission, and he is required by charter to let us know each year that he works for an energy company, so he has to, according to the charter, reveal that association to prevent any conflict of interest, and of course recuse himself from anything that would directly impact his company. So that's his official notification. I just want to put that on the record. I also want to just make a note. I know you two have picked up your copies earlier, but we did receive last week a letter from the Public Site and Building Commission about the cost situation with the police station project. So, and we'll be discussing that on tonight's agenda. So I don't think we have any other correspondence than that, correct? Okay.
The letter, do you want me to proceed the letter, Kevin?
Yeah. Well, we'll do that. In the meantime, are there any public comments?
Yes, just one. Excuse me, Larry Craig, 15 Kellogg Street, Chair of the Board of Ed. I would like to make sure that Bill Patty is involved in the school renovation projects when we get into the energy piece of that. Because we are still pursuing that mini grid.
Microgrid? Right.
I think there may be some implications, at least when I was talking with him probably a month ago, that the schools need to have generators.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the state of the generators that we have at the two schools that we're going to be
Thank you.
renovating, but I think it needs to be there when they get into that. I know we have very qualified people on the building commission, but to me anyways, it seems like a void by him not being there occasionally by invitation when they're ready to talk to them.
Okay.
Larry, let me just ask you a question on this, you mentioned generators. As we're renovating the schools that's new, are the generators going to be replaced?
There are none at Johnson or
There
Rockville.
are none? Okay. Are we considering it?
I would hope so.
That is my understanding of talking to Bill, that they are kind of stopgap measures if anything happens with the grid. But if we don't have it there and we have a problem with the mini grid, we run into the same issue we had a couple of years ago where we lose refrigeration and freezing and cafeteria and have to start moving.
But is it part of the proposal to include generators?
I'm not certain, I can't answer that.
I just
But if
want-
they're necessary in the mini grid, if we're proceeding along and that's looking favorable, then from what I understand, they might be.
Because I just want to avoid any change orders or, changing of specifications. I'd rather have it specified right from the beginning. I think you and I are in the same thought process, especially, as we're going forward with this. I just want a couple clean projects.
I mean, if he says there's no need for me to be there because there's no need to provide generation, to those two schools, then that's another issue. But it just seems like a void that we need to challenge. Do you need to be there? Do you need to at least provide your input to the construction manager and to the building commission? Rich, I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, but yeah, in some of the conversations I heard, I believe there was small generators being looked at for the school, just to run the boilers and like you say, your refrigeration and things like that. You know, emergency lighting and stuff, but not to run the whole school like the big generator at the high school.
Certainly don't need what you have
Right.
at the high school.
Right.
Keep the whole building and everything, all of
Yeah.
the different functions running, refrigeration and stuff.
Yeah, so.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we move on to the meeting minutes, there was, I got some of my paperwork out of order, so there's some more correspondence that I just want to reference. We received quite a lot of messaging, mostly through email, but also in hard copy, pertaining to the Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen meetings prior to the town meeting. And I just want to read off the names. I'm not going to read any of the letters, but I think it's important to recognize the folks who took the time to write in. So Corey King, and all of these letters pertain to the track and the turf field. So Corey King, Jessica Carlson, George Johnston, Jane Vizzi, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly, Rui Figueredo, Jason Gill, Rebecca Chamberlain, Mark Lindstrom, Greg Coriard, Fernando De Silva, Fernando and Sherry De Silva,
Matt, I just want you to make sure, I did cut and paste some, and there might be a couple emails per page, so I just want you to
Yeah.
make sure that you don't.
I saw those.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you. Michael Kerrigan, Katie Siskowski, Benjamin Correa, Heather Pontonio, Allison Stoll, Robert Manfreda, Amy Farley, Laura Bourne, Scott Davis, Sharon Strayton, Scott and Barbara Davis, excuse me, David Wish, Tony Tui, Tim DePalma, and here's one that's clipped off in the bottom. Sorry, I can't see that one. Heidi Hake, I believe it is, H-I-A-K. Lisa and Kevin Breland. Bill Hillman, Lori Snow, Greg Coriard. I think I might have read him once already. We received a couple. All right. And that's it, but I want to acknowledge those letters and thank everybody for taking the time to write. It's always great to have more participation in our democratic process, and I truly appreciate it. And I speak on behalf of my colleagues when I say that as well. So moving on to minutes, we have two to approve. The first would be the special meeting of Monday, March 19th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Second.
Okay, any corrections or comments? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
That carries. And then second would be the meeting of Thursday, March 22nd, 2018.
I'll make a motion, we approve as submitted.
And I think the town attorney had some questions on that, is that correct?
If you go to the second page, the paragraph after it says consideration of planning and construction of the renovations project,
Yes.
it just says first selectman Knickerbocker made a motion. I think that was to go into executive session, and I think we should put the two headings of consideration of tentative agreement with local, and then consideration of offer to purchase real estate executive session ahead of it. And then where it says first selectman Knickerbocker, it says, we're present during the executive session. It should read that also invited into executive session was Town Council Martin Lawler, Comptroller Koslowski, and Recording Secretary Deanne Craig.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, you don't make a motion to come out of executive session. You just should read that it came out of executive session at 6:30,
Correct.
and that's it.
Okay. Okay, so we'll accept as amended.
As amended.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
That carries, thank you very much. First selectmen's report, I had a meeting in my spare time, and when I'm not working here, I'm still working here. I'm also I'm a member of the board of directors now with Connecticut Conference of Municipalities. And the board had a meeting today with the co-chairperson, two chairmen of the Commission on Fiscal Stability and Economic Growth, which was commissioned by the governor about 6 months ago. They had 72 days to prepare a roadmap to lead Connecticut out of its current economic malaise and try to put something on the table that the legislature could adopt that can provide some positive direction for the future. I have one copy of this here, and I'm in the process of printing out a copy for both of you. But it's a fascinating report. The first half of it covers in very blunt terms just exactly how difficult the current economic situation is in the state of Connecticut. And this will probably not surprise you, but it will give you more detail than you've ever seen before. It certainly did for me. But it talks about expenses in the state growing faster than revenues. It talks about out-migration, talks about relative tax burden compared to other states in New England as well as around the country. Talks about the state's unfunded pension liabilities and how they grow up through the year 2045. And then it has a number of recommendations. One of the ones that caught my eye that I was really interested in is that they're talking about tax cuts in the income tax and shifting the burden to other types of taxes, especially at the local level where they would start to diversify the revenue stream so that towns in Connecticut are not solely dependent on property tax. So it's going to be controversial. They're recommending that the entire package be adopted because if you start cherry picking one part of it, there's always, like they said, there's something to like about it for everybody and there's something to hate about it for everybody. So
Thank you.
I've got a copy of my own, and I think we should post it on the town website as well. But I would. It's a 29-page report, and I think you guys will enjoy reading it. You might not enjoy all of what it has to say, but it's very illuminating.
Deanne, this is all one,
Did they
or is it two here?
recommend?
I just saw where he printed off, he had printed it off, and I'm not for
Government
sure.
at the state level?
Yes, that's part of it. CCM, I have to say, especially since the new director was hired a couple of years ago, Joe DeLong, is working very hard to position itself as a nonpartisan organization, and I think they're doing that very successfully. Like I said, in any legislative committee meeting, of which there'll be anywhere from 50 to 70 people there, you can't tell who belongs to what party, and there's somebody who's going to not like anything or certain parts of what's going on. So to me, that's a mark of success, that they're really treating these issues very seriously and in a nonpartisan way. So I think you'll enjoy reading that, and I'll keep you guys informed as we go through that. Do you guys have any other questions,
Nope.
any comments? No. Before we move on? All right. New business, item number 1. We received correspondence from Inland Wetland Commission regarding the what is commonly known as the fracking ordinance, which is proposed, and we have that scheduled for a public hearing in June. You'll recall. The letter from the Inland Wetland Commission is a little mysterious in that it doesn't really endorse the,
I did a front and back, so it's on the same page, maybe as Bill Craddy, no.
oh, is it, okay.
No, it was on the back, okay, if there's a front and back, then I made copies.
It's on the back of the Board of Selectmen.
Oh,
Fair
okay.
housing.
Oh, it's on the back of Fair Housing.
Fair housing, yes.
All right, oh, there it is.
Trying to save some trees.
Okay, well, I don't think there's any action to be taken on that. It's, it just says that they've reviewed the fracking ordinance proposal, and I presume that they found no issue with it. Unless there's any questions about that, I'm
I
gonna,
think we wait until June meeting.
yeah.
And by then, theoretically, the state will come down with their own ordinance.
Well, they already have some regulations that are being released.
You know.
We don't know if they're going to actually pass a new ordinance or not, or a new statute, but we'll see, because then we'll know where we stand, and we can fill in whatever blanks. Item number 2, consideration of fair housing resolution. And this is something that needs to be updated once a year. And I will read this into the record, and then we can adopt it. And this is required by state statute. Whereas all persons are afforded a right to full and equal housing opportunities in the neighborhood of their choice. And whereas federal fair housing laws require that all individuals, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, or national origin, be given equal access to all housing-related opportunities, including rental and home ownership opportunities, and be allowed to make free choices regarding housing location. And whereas Connecticut fair housing laws require that all individuals, regardless of race, creed, color, national origin, ancestry, sex, marital status, age, lawful source of income, familial status, learning disability, physical or mental disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity or expression, be given equal access to all housing-related opportunities, including rental and home ownership opportunities, and be allowed to make free choices regarding housing location. And whereas the town of Bethel is committed to upholding these laws and realizes that these laws must be supplemented by an affirmative statement publicly endorsing the right of all people to full and equal housing opportunities in the neighborhood of their choice. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Bethel hereby endorses a fair housing policy to ensure equal opportunity for all persons to rent, purchase, obtain financing, and enjoy all other housing-related services of their choice in a non-discriminatory basis as provided by state and federal law. And be it further resolved that the chief executive officer of the town of Bethel or his or her designated representative is responsible for responding to and assisting any person who alleges to be the victim of an illegal discriminatory housing practice within the town of Bethel, and for advising such person of the right to file a complaint with the State of Connecticut Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, otherwise known as CHRO, or the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, or to seek assistance from the Connecticut Fair Housing Center, legal services, or other fair housing organizations to protect his or her right to equal housing opportunities, adopted by the town of Bethel on April 3rd, 2018. So I'll put a motion on the floor that we adopt said resolution.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor? Aye, that carries. Okay, to the issue of the police station. As you know, we received a letter with some bad news, and the council has requested a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance to bring the architect and the construction manager into that meeting so we can have an open dialogue and a question and answer session about that. Unless there's any objection, I wanted, because I didn't have a chance to check availability, I'm targeting Thursday the 12th for that meeting, if that's okay with you guys.
Providing it's a meeting that the public can chime in.
Yeah, well, it'll be a special meeting, but we can always put public input on it.
Fine, but as long as that's there, because there's, I've got to say, there's a lot of noise out there, there's a lot of complaints. And I think we have to be totally transparent about this whole issue, because we're talking about a considerable amount of money.
That is quite true. Now, the other thing I would like to have your approval on is I have drafted, is Craig gave me everything in order, and I put it out of order, now I gotta find it. You have a draft of a letter, here it is, to the commission, care of John Menke, chairman, on the police station project. This is simply a letter acknowledging the receipt of their letter of March 22nd, acknowledging the need for a joint meeting as soon as possible, but most importantly, letting them know that they cannot, that we want them to continue work to the point that only that the project remains within budget. We don't want to shut it down, but it's a reminder that they legally must adhere to the until the issue is resolved. They have to stick to the approved number that voters gave them. So I would entertain a motion to approve this to be sent to the commission on our behalf.
So move.
Okay, there's a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Any changes to this?
Let me just finish reading it.
Oh, okay, sure, take your time, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to rush it. And it's rush you, not Russia. All right, it's all good? Okay,
Yeah.
any changes, Rich?
No.
Okay. Those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that carries. And that concludes our relatively short adjournment tonight.
Question is, should we hold it in this room or should we keep it in?
I'm thinking DP room, because we're gonna have a lot of people up here. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a good turnout for that meeting as well. So, yeah, we will do that. All right? Okay, let me just conclude by, thanking both my colleagues here for your participation in this entire budget process. We had 267 registered voters attend last night's annual town budget meeting. I think that's a new record, at least since I've been coming to these meetings for about the last 25 years. And we had 29 registered visitors who were non-voting, but were there to watch the proceedings. So I want to thank all who participated. It was many people. This was, for many of them, they were asking good questions of the registrars. Unfortunately, the registrars didn't have time to answer all of them because a lot of these people were coming to a town meeting for the very first time. So, and they were on both sides of the issues. So it was great to see that turnout. I was very happy about that. So thank you to all who helped. Thank you to Ms. Craig for all her work in putting that together. And I'm going to take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so,
Thank you.
thanks, Marty. Thanks for coming, Larry.
You got to hang out a little bit longer? We can leave the lights on.